Well, guys, come along with us as we make these delicious cinnamon rolls, more on the Scandinavian style. Let us show you how we make this. All right, guys, so we have our oat milk warmed up.
And butter.
And our vegan butter. And our vegan butter. And now we're gonna add our yeast in here, right?
Yep.
All right, so Stefan and I heated up the oat milk.
Butter.
We have our vegan butter and we have our yeast. So we're gonna pour our whole packet of yeast in the milk.
And you want to need the butter?
There's our half stick of butter. We're gonna add our sugar in here. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna let this sit for a good 5 minutes, and we're gonna add our butter in there as well.
Gonna grate it.
Yeah. Okay, ready? Okay, so we're gonna put all this in here, and then we'll see you guys in about 5 minutes. Okay, so if you guys saw the Campbell's Freedom Farm video, you'll know that Stefan and I got a present. So this is why we're making cinnamon rolls today. Okay, so we put our salt in here, and now we're gonna go ahead and add this into here. We're gonna get this all really mixed up. Okay, you ready? We're gonna find out if it works. So we're gonna mix it up and see. I think the bowl turns. So it's going. You got to get the sides a little bit.
Oh, it's amazing!
Okay, we'll continue to mix this till it's ready. So all I'm doing with my hands is just moving it around, and then we're going to let it sit outside, but I am going to add a sprinkle of cinnamon in the dough mix as well. And then what we got to do is we're going to take it outside. It's a nice sunny day, and we're just going to let it rise outside, which is perfect. You know, in the winter, we always put it on the bin and then it rises on its own. But in summer, it's perfect. If you make a pizza, all you do is just put it on your porch, put a cover, like a towel over it, kitchen cloth, and then you just let it rise, and it rises quicker. And I actually think it always does better when it rises naturally in the sun compared to inside. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put just a little bit of olive oil on the bottom, bring this outside, let it sit, and as soon as it's done, then we're ready to roll it out and then let it rise one more time. Okay, so our dough is all risen, as you can see in the picture. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our other half of our vegan butter. We're gonna not knock the coffee pot out. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and add our dark brown sugar. So I prefer dark brown sugar. This is a personal preference. You could either use light and dark. And then what we wanna do is we wanna sprinkle our cinnamon in here. And then let's go ahead and give this a quick mix. Go ahead and take our cardamom, and we're just going to add just a little bit of our cardamom in here. Oh, as soon as I get that back. And then what we're ready to do is we're ready to get to the dough. So what we want to do now, we're going to put our flour here. We're going to get this all out of our bowl. And then we want to go ahead and get it all flat and roll it all the way out. It definitely really did rise, if you could see the difference from the beginning to now. And you can always smell the yeast, I think, when you do these sort of things. Okay, so we just want to get all of this out just like that. And then we're going to take our roller and we're going to roll it as big as we can. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add then the butter and the brown sugar that we just mixed up. And for this one, I think the bigger and the heavier rollers work a little easier. Like we have this marble one, and it works great, really, to get it all the way out compared to the little ones. I actually like this better than the wood ones because it really gets it out. I will say one thing, don't leave it on here and it rolls off. It is really heavy. So we're just gonna continue getting all of these air bubbles out until we get a size that we're happy with. Okay, Stefan and I got it. As square as we're gonna get it. So now what do we wanna do? We wanna rub our sugar?
Candy.
Well, sugar, it's like candy. Make sure you get the big chunks. It's better so you can smooth it out. And I just wanna go as far as I can. And then next we just wanna roll it. And just try not to break the dough.
And never.
And if I could give one thing, try to break up the sugar as thin as you can. It's better.
I'm breaking the sugar because dope.
Now that we got that evened out, I like to add a little more sprinkle of cinnamon on top. Just because I think the cinnamon tastes really good on there. Okay, and now we're gonna roll it up. If you're a perfect baker, it's gonna be a nice square so it's nice and easy. I'm not, so we're just gonna do the best that we are. Really, we had to do this just to try out that blender. We thought it would be so fun. So just keep going. And then what we're gonna do next is we're gonna cut it. And then we do have to let it rise one more time before we bake it. I've known where some people take off the ends and chuck them. I don't agree with that. Even if they're not the perfect, like they're just the little funky ends, they're still good. So I don't believe that you should just throw them away. Yes, they look nicer when they're perfect, but it's not necessary. So we're just gonna cut them about there. And we can see it's already pretty. Let me frame that right. You can always see the sugar and the cinnamon. I always think it's a pretty color. And all we're gonna do with Clean's hands is we're just gonna take the butter, we're gonna put it all the way around whatever pan you decide to bake with. And then next we're gonna go ahead and just line them up to where they're perfect. And then we'll go ahead and put a towel over them and let them rise outside one more time. Okay, so you can just, let me hold that up here. We're gonna put the bigger ones in first. We're gonna do just as good as we can. And remember, they do rise just a little bit more. All right, perfect. So we have our 3 little odds and ends down here. We're gonna go ahead and put this outside. All right, guys, look how amazing these already look. They're nice and fluffed up. And that's what I meant. Even these little ones did nice. So what we're gonna do is we have the oven to 350 and then we're gonna bake it for about 15 to 20 minutes and make a hot cup of coffee.
We're gonna have our cup of coffee and our cinnamon roll and not bad. Got a good texture. I like, share, and comment down below. See how you make it.
Please subscribe.
And if you don't, you'll feel not much sugar as you ever wanted. And don't add too much though. So if you don't want sugar, that's fine. And you can add mostly the middle kind of sugar, dark sugar, or non-dark sugar.
Only dark or light brown sugar.
You can pick any sugar you want if you want to. Or drizzle with honey.
And on another side note, I forgot to show this clip. I did add an egg wash on there about halfway through before it was done.
Yo, subscribe and like and share.